This is Shelley Kraft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're coming to you live from the Dawson James Securities Small Cap Growth Conference 2019 here in Jupiter, Florida. With me today is Vered Caplan from Orgenesis Inc. It's a publicly traded company on NASDAQ, and the symbol is ORGS. Vered, welcome back to SNNLive.
Shelley, thank you so much, and I'm always appreciative of this chance to talk with you guys and also the wonderful stuff you do for all these small cap companies around here.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. But let's start with a brief overview of the company and we'll go from there.
Okay, so Orgenesis, kind of in a nutshell, what we do is we enable cell and gene therapies. These therapies are the ones that use living drugs. These are engineered cells taken from the patient's body and manipulated in different ways and put back into the patient's body as curative therapies for some of the most devastating disease today. And we as a company, what we do, we try to enable the safe supply and processing of these therapies to patients.
So, let's get an update, because I think the last time we spoke with you was sometime in March, right?
I believe so. So, since then, a lot of exciting stuff. We've really expanded the clinical kind of work we're doing with our diabetic process. Just as a quick reminder, what we're doing is we're collecting liver cells and engineering them to make them insulin-producing cells. We've started our first stage in getting this to the clinic by collecting these samples from patients, from relevant patients, and at this point we're building the biobanks so we can check and see if we can get this back to the patient safely and in a way that is acceptable to the regulatory authorities. So that's very exciting for us. On our service business, MaSTherCell, it's been doing incredibly well. You can see this by the revenue growth, and this whole industry is flourishing, so that's very exciting. And we're really proud that we can continue to support it by providing for different companies that are our customers. On the licensing, on our joint venture kind of point of care activity, we're also advancing, working with more centers and trying to adapt these therapies so we can actually process and supply them at the point of care at the healthcare facilities.
What would you say is your competitive advantage?
Well, I think the one thing we do, and we do that with a passion, as we industrialize. We really don't just make this in a biological fashion. We really think like engineers, like process engineers. We try to make this in a way that not only can we supply these cells in a small clinical trial, but we can actually get them later on at a very wide scope to as many patients as need them. That's really our uniqueness as a company.
What would you say that the size of this addressable market is?
Oh, you know, it's amazing because every year people give out new kind of estimates, and every year these estimates go up. I can tell you the last industry reports I've seen is just the processing and supply market is around a $4 billion market. Today it's not that big, but think of this, every company that today is getting services in its clinical stage may reach the market, and even only if a small percent of those reaches the market, you're still talking about tremendous market potential.
Now, what's your background?
My background is engineering. I've had the pleasure of working with many amazing scientists coming out of Israel and other locations, and really being an entrepreneur, pushing science to a way that can be beneficial to patients. And I think this industry as a whole really gives us an opportunity to take everything we've learned in biotech and make this a new generation of biotech therapies that can help patients in ways we never even thought possible.
Now, you're a public company, so only tell me what you can. What are some growth drivers for Orgenesis going forward?
So first of all, on our subcontracting business, where we actually supply to clinical stage companies, what we're doing there is we're expanding all the time. We're just opening up the Texas facility. That's very exciting, right? That's a huge opportunity to help and support both our existing customers and potential new customers in the US, not only in Europe. We've expanded also on our licensing and our point of care activity by widening our partnership and putting some of the first therapies already into a position where we can actually supply them locally and start activity locally. All of these are very exciting steps for us as a company. And as we see this industry go, we are hoping and we try to do our best to expand and help support that industry.
So, Vered, let's get your website out for our investor audience, if you would.
Well, it's Orgenesis.com. It's ORGENESIS.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Vered Caplan, Orgenesis Inc., publicly traded company on NASDAQ, and the symbol is ORGS. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive, and we're coming to you live from the Dawson James Securities Small Cap Growth Conference 2019 right here in Jupiter, Florida. Vered, thank you so much. Always good to see you.
Thank you so much.